You ready?
Yeah, we're going.
Okay, we've already kited the wing a little bit earlier. We found out that the wind is still a little bit all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and work on kiting the wing first. Not worried about flying, worried about kiting. We're going to kite under power. If things look good, we're going to go up. First thing I want to do, since I'm a foot launcher, I'm going to check my trim and make sure that it's all the way in. Because this is a faster wing. This wing is a semi-reflex wing. It's called a Velvet by Macpara, and it doesn't have a tendency of hanging back on you. Now some of these slower wings, something like the Paratoys or an Atlas or something like that, if you let the trim out about a good inch or a thumb length, it'll be a lot easier for you to launch. Try that out. Okay, so I'm going to bring this out. Some wind. Let the wind do the work for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to untangle my lines, but after I spread the wing out a little bit. I'm going to let that wind, hopefully, if I can find any there, do a little work for me. Oh, where'd it go? Disappeared. Oh, there's something. We're going to do a forward launch tonight, which is the one launch that I don't see a lot of people doing because they're all trained on the D's. They're just having a tough time. Now what I'm doing is I'm pulling deep down into the D's. I've went ahead and charged the wing. I've grabbed it in center. I've checked my trim already. I just kind of kited it a little bit. I've cleared my A lines, which are the first lines you want to clear. And this has what's called split A's. One A is on the wing tip and one A is not. Now what I'm going to do is give myself slack, like this. Because if you don't give yourself slack, when you do a wing walk around a check and you pull on your wing, you're going to rotate your risers and you're going to make yourself even tangled. So now I'm going to do a walk around, check my line, make sure there's no sticks. I'm going to make sure there's no lines behind the wing. Some people have a tendency to even fold the wing tip. Everything works differently. Do not lay the wing out flat. The wing must be in a horseshoe or a V formation. Now, we've already know where the wind's coming from, and our target is that little hill over there, that little berm over there, right in front. It's like a pistol range. So that's our target. That's where we're aiming. So we're going to have our wing dead set center of that target. Notice how our wing is laid out like a horseshoe, because we want the center of the wing to inflate first. So I'm looking for to make sure there's no sticks and make sure there's no lines going behind the wing. Nothing's going behind the wing. There's nothing folded. If there's a stick in your lines, the stick will hold your line. Once your wing pressurizes, a stick will hold it in place. You want to look and make sure there's no big gaggles, big tangles, because they will stay tangled sometimes. The wind gets with you. All right. So we got our wing laid out. I'm going to do one last check on the lines. It looks good. See how I got my A lines out? All right. So I'm going to spring them back in. Go get my radio helmet. So I'm going to do a quick radio check. Do you have that Cobra radio turned on? Just turn the big dial on the top. This cable gets a lot of people, so you want to make sure everything is nice and free. Then I'm going to do a radio check. Check, 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 radio check. Check, check, check. Lima Charlie. Okay. On these helmets, I like to put my ear cup out a little bit so I can hear myself, hear my engine, because remember, we're not thinking about flying, we're thinking about a good forward launch. We're going to kite it. If it looks good, we'll go full power and we go into the air. Now remember, you'll start feeling a little bit of lift when the wing is above your head. If the wing is over to your left, you pump the opposite side, get underneath the center. Now I'm going to do a zigzag thing. Now when I do that, don't think it's a bad launch. I'm doing that so that you can see me control the wing. So anyways, you'll see my hands. I'm going to make an exaggerated pump and you'll see the glider turn a little bit. So I may only do it once, we'll see, because I'm going to run out of one runway if I go too long. All right, so checked out our trim, we checked out our unit. Make sure the power is on before we get this thing all put on our back, and then all of a sudden the power isn't on. Happens all the time. I do it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my seat straps clear, pull them up. The one thing about this unit is it has such a large, crumple zone underneath there. Safety, you can stick your leg underneath it because the harness is up off the ground. Get in your harness, nice and easy. The first thing I normally like to do is I'll go ahead and put my chest strap on underneath everything. You got to make sure you clear it, because if not, you'll be stuck. Your helmet will be stuck. Everything will be stuck. See, I want to be free. Don't want anything getting stuck anywhere. Now the cool thing about this new harness, it's got littler straps right here. once you get it adjusted right, I think you'll like it because it doesn't matter if they twist so much anymore. This is your center strap. Doesn't matter. Try not to tighten it, you know, because this way you have a little bit of weight shift. On these new harnesses, they put this bungee on the weight shift that you can tie so that it returns you back to your normal position once you're in flight. All right, so now I got to find my throttle. Where did I put it? There it is. If you're out on the beach, be very careful about having your throttle in the sand. When I put my throttle strap on, I don't want it tight. I just want it snug, and you can go ahead and cut all that off once you measure it for your hand, because this is the first flight for this unit. I just want it to where it's not too tight because it'll put my hand to sleep. You know, you don't want your hand to sleep when it's up there. Because with this throttle, it's very ergonomic. You'll lose these two fingers. You may use your front two fingers and these two fingers in the wing. It's just a really neat ergonomic type of throttle. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten up my upper straps, which they're already kind of set for me. Good. Everything is clear. All right, go ahead and get up. Now the cool thing about these electric start units now, since they don't have a board underneath them, you can really stand with this harness. You know, you noticed on the other one that you trained on. So all right, so I'm going to go over to my wing. I'm going to step over my line. So you'll see me let go of my non-throttle hand on the wing, and you'll see me scooting into the harness like this. It looks like it's going to be very comfortable though. All right, so I'm going to pick up one side of my trim. I'm going to check those aids again, making sure that one of my buddies or something didn't twist it, you know, trying to help me out. Make sure I got my throttle still clear. I'm going to go over my hand. So, excuse me, I'm clearing my A's and I'm clearing my brake lines. I want to make sure that the brake lines are not routed through anything. A lot of times the brake lines will be routed through something. You want them nice and clear, like so. So my bad on that one. So again, you want to clear your A's, clear your brakes, go over your forearm, just like this. Go over your forearm. And hook in. That way you're looking down at your trim. See that? So that way when I'm flying, it's all the right way. All right, so we've got that one. Now I'm going to squat down and get this one. And the reason why I don't bend over, now on this unit you can bend all the way over, but a lot of units you can't. If you do, you'll get gas on your back. Okay, I'm going to check my A's. They look good. I'm going to check my brakes. They look good. It's going to go over my forearm. Over my forearm. Can you see that really well? Mm-hmm. Over my forearm. And strap on. All right. So I should be looking down at my brake lines. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm comfortable, and I want the unit kind of high on my back. A little jump here, a little movement. If it's high on my back, I can move around and I can run. Okay? So everything looks good. Now I'm going to grab my brakes with two fingers. Push down. Grab my brake, push down. And then I'm going to go with my arms out like this. So I just push down. I'm moving my arms out. Can you get a good picture? Mm-hmm. All right. Now I'm reaching around like Fonzarelli. Look, I'm reaching underneath my line. See my thumbs? And they're going to hit the center A's. See? And why do I want to do the center A's? Because I want the center of the wing to come up. Now I'm not grabbing them. I am pinching them with my thumb against my brake lines and against the forefingers. You see this right here? I have it pinched. See that? So what I've done is I've grabbed my brakes, hopped it loose, reached around underneath my unit, or underneath my risers, back all the way around like this, grab my A's, pinch them, make sure they're right, and don't pinch them on top of your kill switch like this, because you could kill your engine. All right, so then I'm going to take this thumb, grab this A, looks good. Now I'm going to center myself on the wing. Okay, it looks like I'm pretty well centered. I feel kind of equal pressure on my A's. So if I do that, I don't want to just turn and look because the lines are tight. I want to step back and then I can look. Yep, I'm dead centered on my wing. Cool. So I can step back forward, check again, back up just a hair. Now I'm ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my engine and then I'm going to run it up a little bit to clear the plug on my back. And then if all else looks well, I'm going to bring the wing up. I'm going to kite the wing, and if everything looks well from there, then I'll fly. The biggest trick is these things want to scoop you up off the ground. You have to stay straight and you have to run until you are running in the air. Okay? Clear prop. See how I have my line again? I have my line. That way when the wing comes all the way up, all I got to do is let my finger out. And see, I still have a good grip on my brakes. That means I'm not going to drop my brakes. You understand? I'm going to let go of my aim, but I'm not going to let go of my brakes or my throttle. Okay? I'm going to get ready to go now.